know what that was? Oh, that doo-doo, baby.
That's a true statement. Amber, when did you realize things had went south and they had turned sour with you two?
So I think it was the day after we went to the movies, at the movies. I told him that I didn't see him hurting a fly. And then after the next day, he came back and he asked me, you know, why did I say that? Do I think he's a simp or something like that? And then I was like, no, I just think you're a genuine, like he always seems happy. And he just, you know, started mentioning, you know, ways to, I guess, change my perspective of him being a simp. And so, yeah, I just kind of figured that was going to be like a red flag. Like, if you can't see yourself in a nice light, then how you expect somebody else to see to view you that way as well?
Right, right.
What? First off, ma'am, I've never had a girl tell me one time in a positive way of saying that you look like you wouldn't hurt a fly. That's something for a person they think is soft. That's a soft statement. Now, I don't know how y'all both start talking about simps and stuff like that, but that's a soft statement. If you're telling me you tell people that you think they're just happy and guys that you're on dates with, that you don't look like you'll hurt a fly, do you continue to date that person? Because I can see why he would try to affirm that he's not a simp or affirm that he's not soft. Now, he shouldn't do it. I wouldn't goddamn do anything to prove anything to a lady. But still, did you just come up here and tell us that you did that? And what you meant was that he was a nice person? That's not a lie. I don't know what is.
Did you want to respond to that, Amir?
Man, she did say that, and then I was like, I look like that? Like, you know, I'd rather give off that energy. But I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I did give her about my past. I told her everything, but I wanted her to get to know me. Right. So I was like, yeah, I've done time before. Like, I used to be in the streets, like, but the path that I'm on right now is what created from all of that trauma in my life. So
why are you telling her this? Did you tell her this after she said that you seemed like you couldn't hurt a fly? Don't do that. That's wild. I wouldn't say none of that. As soon as she would told me that I looked like I wouldn't hurt a fly, I would say, oh, well, I guess this date is over. Hopefully you could pay for your popcorn. I think they was at the movies. If y'all was at the movies, hopefully she could pay for her own popcorn, because once I know that the date's over and I know that this ain't gonna go nowhere, you pay for your own meal, man. I ain't got it like that. I don't just pay for people meals. I don't just do shit like that just to be happy and nice. Don't need to be nice to a person who ain't finna try to make me feel great. You made me feel like I'm a soft person, so guess what? I'll make you feel like you got money, so you're gonna have to spend it.
So the positivity she's saying that I can't take, I executed it all throughout my social media accounts, my walk of life. You know what I'm saying? So when she said that, I didn't take no offense to it. I just want to let her know, like, remember you said you want somebody you feel comfortable with when you're in the club or whatever? I'm that guy. I may not look at it, but I walk in the room, I promise you, I get that attention. And I told you that. Like, I've done security at Stats, many clubs.
The fact that you're over here, sir, trying to make her believe that you could protect her is triggering. It's very triggering. Now, I don't know if you have an older person in your life, because I know I'm not it. You clearly look older than me. You need somebody to let you know that, hey, yo, that chocolate thing right there, yeah, to be gone. You dismiss her. Don't you prove anything. A lady wouldn't know if I got $5 or $1,000 in my pocket, because I ain't finna prove nothing to you. If I'm broke, I can make you feel like I'm rich, because you ain't gonna never know what's in my pocket. So I ain't gonna prove nothing to you, okay? I will show up with a white t-shirt. I will show up dressed like this. You think I ain't got no money. You'll be wrong. But guess what? Ain't nothing I'm gonna do to prove anything to you, heifer. You got some nerves. Even if you chocolate, which I like.
Like, it's nothing. It was nothing sober. I ain't feeling no way about it, but I was like, dang, I gotta let her know, like, I could protect her. Somehow,
you don't.
I couldn't get you out. No, I mean, besides the movies, I couldn't get you nowhere else so you could see how people react towards me or us being out. Because you said when you're out, you know, some guys may holler at you while you with another guy. I wish somebody would. I'm gonna say something, but my first thing is not to go on and now. I'm gonna say something, and if it leads to that, then it is what it is.
Sir, look at her body language. She's acting like you disgust her. First off, her arms are out of shape, okay? I don't know why she's acting like this, but her arms let me know that her body fat percentage is too high, okay? It's too high. Anytime I'm talking to a lady and she move her body back like that, she don't understand. She just put herself in the zone of me now, not just, I'm gonna call it out. That's what I am. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna look at you and say, the hell you moving back for? Your back hurt? Cause nigga, I don't know why you acting like you uncomfortable right now. You the one calling me soft, okay? Motherfucker, like that's not cool. That's not cool what's happening. And right now, you're making me feel uncomfortable, sir, cause you're doing this thing. Trying to make her understand that you can protect somebody. Make this heifer understand something. Over here looking like a dark-skinned girl of the Dream Girls. There was no dark-skinned girl, but she would be the one.
By all means, like, I was just trying to just show you, like, I got your back if need be.
Oh, God.
The crazy thing is, I think it goes back to what we said in the first segment. To me, it keeps going back to communication. That's what I see a lot. Because, and stop me if I'm wrong, but it seems as if you were talking more about his heart, more he wouldn't hurt a fly. And
that's not what she was talking about. Not what she was talking about. But you could try to say all you want, Miss Host, all you want. That's not what she was talking about. A lot of that heifer with the red dress over there. Don't lie to me.
I think you're talking more physical. So again, that may have been a communication thing, because you went into protecting her and all of that. And is that what you meant? More like his heart? And okay. That's what
Is that what you meant? Yeah, of course she gonna say yes, because she know now everybody gonna be looking at her weird. She knows what she just did. No lady will actually accept that. No lady will say that, hey, I say people are harmless enough that they won't hurt a fly, and I mean they're nice. Don't nobody say that. Only people who say stuff like that are people who drink. Drinking, they're alone. And guess what? Drunks are never alone, okay? They always got a buddy. Bring a beer to the party. They always got one of those with them. It's crazy as hell what just happened. And the host just try to save her. Don't be trying to save motherfuckers around here. That's why nobody like the sisterhood. All y'all do is just try to save motherfuckers. Y'all try to save her, which she clearly said something that offended him. But I guess if he would have looked at her, like she got dressed up, if he would have looked at her and said, oh, you could have did better, would y'all would have been on his side? No, you wouldn't. But guess what? After I see what y'all just did, that's when I do. I would just make something up to make him seem better.
And that could be a possibility. In my head, I was just going off of, you know what I mean, when we spoke on the show, like, yo, I need somebody that I know I feel secure with. Mm-hmm. And all right, I don't look big or nothing like that, but like you said, I may have misinterpreted it.
You didn't, my short bald brother. We need to stick together. You did not misinterpret that. Look at what she's doing. She's triggering me right now by how her body is. Jesus.
Mm-hmm. So that's a possibility.
Right.
Okay, first thing first, I have moved everything around because I didn't know there was a new scene. So I moved it. I moved the camera and everything. I apologize. But they added something in, and that's what we're going to look at. So just want to let you know, don't get confused because the angle changed or the microphone. Don't get confused.
Amir, I do want to ask you, again, the tension has been there.
Like, I'm over it. Like, I
was going to say,
just once we hear it, it's just like, man.
It is all coming back.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, I was just going to ask if you can ask her anything, any question. Would you ask her anything right now? Would you say anything differently?
My only thing I would say is when I said, I believe I said it along these lines, like, if I'm not your type or we don't get along, whatever you don't like about me, just cut ties, let me know, and then we could go on about our way, because I have no problem being by myself, living my life. Like, like he said, I'm perfectly fine in my life. I promise you. I don't need nothing from a soul besides of love. And you know what I mean? So my biggest thing was just like, yo, you turn me off by saying this and that instead of carrying the conversation on after I told you about my history. You could just be like, you know what? Nah, this ain't for me.
Yeah. And then Amber, do you feel like he is depicting you in the light that you would want to be depicted in? Do you feel like, because again, it's kind of seems like you two have different stories about some things. So What is your take on that? Do you feel like the things he's saying is true? Is this real life? What is your perspective?
I don't think he is, and that's just my opinion. But again, he has to tell his story in the way that he sees his story.
That's not how that works. It's not a thing. That sounds like a person that's a liar. Now, ma'am, I'm not calling you a liar. That sounds like a liar. The story has a beginning and an end, but whatever, I guess.
I do feel like communication, I'm very open with communication. Like anybody could call me, talk to me, text me, we could figure it out. Some of the things that did alarm me, I did have a conversation with him, and his responses to that was, I feel like you're judging me, but just try to get him to see things differently, especially like, the example where he asked me to cancel my friends. So,
Yeah, Lord. I've tried. I did not, man. Okay. Judgmental, like, I never said that to this lady. I promise you, man. I ain't said that. Please don't get up here.
When you told me about your past,
Just tell the truth, man.
when you told me about your past, the first question was, I figured you was gonna sit here and judge me, because my response to you telling me that everybody in your life has a past, a history, I said I didn't have anybody that I know of that had the history. Your response was, you're judging me. And I'm like, I'm not judging you. I'm telling you from my experience. Nobody in my past has a history. So I can't communicate.
And I remember you said that.
Relate.
No, honestly, I remember you said that, but I never said that you was judging me. Like, cause you never said nothing to judge me on.
You say,
All you said was my people's never been in any type of trouble or anything.
right. And then you said, I feel like you're judging me. That
Okay, you're going to keep saying the same thing. This is where the wall that y'all about to hit. She's saying verbatim, you said the word judging. He's saying he didn't say that word. Host, I'm going to need you to tell them now we got to move along, because don't seem like neither of them going to give.
was what you said. Now,
I don't recall that saying, but
So again, I think it goes back to that. And honestly, some people are just not compatible, but I promise you, this is just me looking in. I really think that it's a communication thing.
That's not a communication thing. You're looking in is terrible. Somebody's a liar. Somebody's a liar. She said the word judging like 3 times. She's saying that's the word she know that was said. He said directly, I didn't say you were judging me. This is not communication. This is lying. Somebody is a liar. So, ma'am, you were wrong on what you were seeing. But I didn't want to attack you. But I don't like your blonde hair either. You should fix it.
Let me ask you this though. Are both of you done? Is there okay, I didn't know if it was room for reconciliation or...
so again, like you said, communication. So even if it was a miscommunication, you have to still communicate with that. And that's something that didn't happen. So last I spoke to Amir, he was saying he was going on a trip to Tennessee for the weekend by himself. And then, I didn't hear from him until like 2 days later, where he texted me and said, obviously you're not talking to me, or something like that. And my response to his text was, Amir, this deserves a conversation, not a text. But be blessed though. So even in that,
From his body language, he's saying you're just lying, like lying up a storm. And sir, if she's telling so many lies like this, you are lucky. If you're crazy, sir, that's amazing. But she already said one thing that no one believes when she said the thing about you being soft.
I was telling him, you have to talk, right? But I'm not going to go back and forth with you if you don't want to communicate.
Yeah. So I get it. Again, yeah, I think
Don't you say it again.
It possibly could have worked if you all were able to really communicate with each other, but you just may not be compatible. So
yeah, and that's what I said. So I wish him the best. There's nothing. I don't think he's a bad guy. Right. I just feel like he wasn't my guy. Like, the things that I need in order for a long-term relationship, it just wasn't there for me. Like, right now, it's growth on both ends, right?
Well, I definitely wish you all the best. I wish everybody the best of luck.
I don't know what's your problem with saying everything's communication.
I had the white beater, man. Put on the shirt.
About to start crip walking.
I just want to say something about that comment. Wouldn't hurt a fly.
yeah.
Okay.
From New York, I ain't ever gonna say that to my man. You wouldn't hurt a fly. That don't even sound right. Like, get up out of here with that. So I think she did try to come for him, but she don't know who he is. She don't know who he is at all. So that, yeah, she can go ahead with that.
I like her. I like you, Belinda. I like her.
Said like you trying to act like you ain't mean what you said. You said what you
Yeah.
said.
Like,
Okay, see, there you go. That lady who was there at this place, she at least acknowledged it. She was like, "Hey, yo, I know what you did right there. Thank you." But let's keep listening to what they're saying.
she knew when she said that, like, she meant something behind it because it was like she told me, like, yo.
So what was the context around the conversation?
Like I feel.
What was the context around the conversation?
The context, I ain't gonna lie, like I remember verbatim. After I was standing outside the car, whatever, and then I don't even know how it came up, to be honest. But when she said that, I was just, you know what I mean, like. But we
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. How he talks, he kind of do look like he might have served prison time. Not saying that it's a problem. First off, that dude got his shoulders. Those are prisoner shoulders right there. Those are prisoner shoulders. And then how he's speaking, he ain't articulating himself very well. That ain't from prison. That ain't a prison thing. That's just he a nigga.
That basically saying like you a punk, like you soft.
That's
like you want to hurt a fly. You Steve Urkel, get out of here. Like what?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay, I want to play devil's advocate. Can I play devil's advocate just a little bit?
I don't want you to, but go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
All right. What if it was meant along the lines of, because that's why I asked what the context was. What look at Belinda. what if it was what if she was, the conversation could have been something along the lines of, you know, oh God. Like you're a nice guy, whatever. You know, I just see your heart, and you're such a good person. And I can't imagine you.
I ain't get that type of.
You said the same thing the host said. You wasn't even playing devil's advocate. You played devil's advocate to something that already happened. That's what the host said, and everybody already believed the host was lying. All right, the host was trying to make sure that lady didn't look bad to everybody, because if everybody in this little area believes that heifer said that in trying to come at him or, you know, diss him, you ain't saying nothing new. Ain't nobody gonna agree with it now.
I never got that vibe from her as a person to speak of me like that. You get what I'm saying? So I wouldn't, that right there, I can't jack that.
This is the same girl that's told him, when I'm out with another dude, guys be trying to talk to me. This is kids stuff. Come on.
Yeah,
she was poking the bear.
Come on. Like
she right. That's what they said she said. That sounds wild. If a heifer told me that while we was on a date, she's getting left there. But I'm not gonna let her know. I'm gonna ghost her on a date. And I'm gonna buy as much stuff as possible so she have to pay for it. I do it. I don't care.
She was playing like she wasn't really ready to be honest. And I'm not even funny or nothing. Like, honestly, like, a day is too much of my time if you're not gonna be real with me. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm telling you, like, from the get-go, like, yo, this is my past, this is my traumas that I've been through, I dealt with them, I already know how to maneuver if I get triggered, and then you turn around and, you know what I mean, got me chasing you. So look, I asked her, I said, yo, can me and my homeboy Vinny come out to the fair with you and your friends? And then she didn't respond back for 2 hours. This is an open space. You know what I'm saying? And when she responded back with, oh, we might go to the movies to see Sinners, what we was going to see. So I'm like, yo, why can't, I was like, yo, aren't we supposed to see the movie? Like, yeah, we are. I'm not going to go with them. So long story short, my homeboy, he like, yo, why she don't just say we can come here with them? Because it's an open space. It's the fair for Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? It was around that time. And he took that as I'm telling her, yo, leave your friends. I just want to come kick it with you. And that wasn't the case at all. Like, you got friends, I got friends. We outside.
Right.
When you say Vinny, that's like swimming with the fishes. I don't know if I would have went with.
Nah, he was actually at the show.
I'm just messing with you. It's the wine.
Big screen. Yeah, so that was wild. I got this video from Media Man. Y'all should probably go check him out. That guy be hitting y'all with a lot of stats. Don't worry, I don't put his name in the description. But still, that heifer has some nerves. You ain't finna just tell me that when you go out places, guys be trying to hit on you while you with other guys. Say, what kind of weird flex is this? You have to tell me why you said this. Like, my mind is gonna be blown. I need to know why I know this information now. So you're telling me, sir, she told you that, then she told you you don't look like you heard a fly, and she changed plans when y'all was supposed to be going to the fair, but then you said, hey, I want to bring my friend with you and your friends. So then she said, hey, let's just go to the movies. You're doing too much, heifer. I don't want to do this, especially when you got like out of shape arms. Out of shape arms, in shape arms doesn't really matter. But if you got out of shape arms, you definitely should know not to keep doing what you're doing. I'm happy that the older lady, I don't know how old she is. She looks older. So if she's not, my apologies. But the Belinda lady, good thing she knew that lady was being disrespectful. I think everybody would probably knew. The only person who didn't know would be that girl's mom, because you know her mom probably lies to herself. That host even knew. That's why that host had to reach so goddamn hard. Say, I think she was talking about your heart. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. And please don't ever do that again. Do not try to save somebody while I'm right here and I was there when the heifer said it. Don't try to save them. Yo, man. But yeah, long story short, don't try to prove yourself to these crazy motherfuckers. What do you gain? You gain nothing for trying to prove yourself to that crazy motherfucker. You gain nothing. All you got was a headache. That's all you got out of that situation.
Oh, you ain't know what that was. Oh, that doo-doo, baby.